Hello everyone, welcome back. Just got my afternoon coffee. Pulled out this mug for the first time in a minute. It's the cutest thing I own. Today I wanted to chat about my journal setup. Big buzzword online is journal ecosystem, which I'd never heard until that trend. It was probably like a year ago now, maybe last summer, I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to chat through my journal ecosystem, mostly because I finally got my Paper Republic journal. I'm so happy, I'm so excited. So is Winnie. Here she is. She's perfect and beautiful. For those who don't know, I got a custom journal made by Paper Republic. So it took a couple months to come in. I've been waiting very patiently, but it's here. I got it on Friday. It is Tuesday. I've only had it for like 3 or 4 days at this point, but I feel like I've already had it a lifetime. I got the portfolio in A5. The outside cover I got in the color Venezia. The thread color I chose natural. And then on the ribbons, I chose their blue and their beige ribbons. On the inside, I got petrol blue for the pockets. I didn't get the journal lined, so I just left it with the Venezia in the back and then petrol blue on the pockets. I love it. I'm so glad I didn't play it safe. I also got their pen holder in the petrol blue color. This pen holder unfortunately does not hold my preferred pen, so that kind of sucks. Because it wasn't cheap, this little thing, this little piece of leather. Like I said, it's only been like 3 days and I'm already so happy with my decision to get this journal. It's taken a little bit of thought to kind of figure out my process and how many different journals I need. It's one of those things that you have to put a little bit of extra thought into, but then it pays off so much. I have journaled for as long as I can remember. I journaled as early as elementary school, and it looked very different back then. It was very like day in the life, not really about my thoughts, I guess, but more so like, here's what I did. I used to have the mindset of if I'm not gonna journal every single day, there's no point in doing it. I was very all or nothing in that way, and I think shifting that mindset has helped me more than anything when it comes to being consistent with journaling. I think that's also why planners never really worked for me. I always felt too rigid, or there was not enough space, or there was too much space. There was always something wrong that kept me from sticking with it and actually using the planner. So for the past like 2.5 years at this point, I've been using this journal. I loved it. I still love the cover design, even though it's been 2 years since I picked it out. It served me very well. If you're getting into journaling and you're new to it, I would recommend getting just something that's cheaper, inspires you to look at and to want to write it. That's what I did with this, and it worked really well. I truly use this journal for everything. I used it for stream of consciousness, morning pages, to-do lists, any sort of list that I needed to write, brainstorming, goals, just everything. In a way, I kind of like that. It's very type B, it's very all over the place, it's not overthinking it, very minimal to just have everything in one notebook. But the problem with that is being able to refer back to to-do lists or brainstorming or anything like that. It's a little bit disorienting to have to flip back through emotional processing. So I wanted to switch to this style of journal for that reason, mostly, was to be able to have more than one journal living inside of this one journal. This is obviously very new, so it's still a work in progress. I'm still kind of figuring out which system is going to work the best for me, but this is what I'm doing right now, and so far I really like it. So let's just go front to back. For now, I have this thin journal in the front pocket of my notebook. I realized I don't have enough ribbons to hold as many journals as I need, so I need to order those. But for now, I'm keeping this smaller journal in the front pocket. This one is solely gonna be YouTube brainstorming. I think it's nice to keep that separate from everything else because I wanna have enough pages to be able to continuously add to it for the foreseeable future. Next up, I have just my to-do list. So this is where I keep my to-do lists. My current system is writing out the month on one page, and then I also have a page for what I want to accomplish that week. And then from there, I get more granular and go day by day, and that's where the to-do lists live. This is very helpful for me because I find in the morning when I'm doing my stream of consciousness journaling that I want to kind of write out everything I want to do and accomplish that day, which is totally fine, but I really want that journal to be more of like emotional processing, or just I don't know, self-reflection, I suppose. I wanted to kind of separate those out, as I said earlier, just because it's a little bit jarring to have a super emotional paragraph and then your to-do list. It's like whiplash a little bit. So that's the main reason that I wanted to separate those out. And so far it's really working for me. Having a dedicated to-do list just calms my brain so much. Behind my to-do list, I have my everyday journal where I am reflecting and just kind of brain dumping in the morning. If you're someone that wants to get into journaling, I highly recommend not putting pressure on yourself to write every single day or even every single week. Just pick up the pen when it feels natural and when you want to write. Also, the biggest thing is don't put pressure on yourself to write about a certain thing or to sound articulate or to use certain words. The biggest advantage of journaling is that you are not being perceived by anyone. I think there's so much to be gained by just writing all of your unedited thoughts and being the most honest version of yourself and just saying what comes to your mind without judgment. I don't know. I just think it's really good for the mental health. I think that's what holds people back from journaling sometimes is, I guess, judging what they're writing or not even knowing what to write. But I think that is what is good about journaling, though, is that it forces you to, forces maybe is an extreme word, but it allows you to get in touch with the most honest version of yourself. And I think that's a good thing. At first, I thought those 3 would be enough, and then thoughts kept popping into my head of just different random things that I felt the need to write out that didn't fit into any of those 3 very well. So I have a 4th journal. I know this might seem excessive to some people. If you don't care, just put it all in one. But I just think it's beneficial for my mind. So I have another thin one. So I have 2 thin ones and 2 thicker ones. And this one is just when I'm walking around the apartment, I see something, I'm like, that's ugly, I need to fix it. I put it here in this list. Sailing is starting back up soon. I need to take new notes on what I learned last year to kind of jog my memory. Sailing list. So all of these random things are just gonna live in this journal. I probably won't throw it away, but I kind of view this as something that can be thrown away because it's not super personal. Another part of my problem in the past was, and this is just a personal preference, I don't like having several different journals. It stresses me out. It makes me feel like, how do I know which one to take with me if I'm going to the Esplanade to chill? Or like, for instance, this one I started just as a little sketch journal. To me, this was a way of memory keeping, like this little sketch of Juniper. Then naturally, life happened, and I happened to have this on me the day that I went to sailing class. And so then I started using it as a place to take notes. And then it just gets chaotic. So it's like the first 10 pages are little cute sketches, and then it's notes about sailing, and then from there it's like, what makes me feel satisfied? Like, it's too many things. The appeal is that it's all in one book, which I love. I did a decent amount of research on which journals to actually use. So for my stream of consciousness, I'm using this. It's called MD Notebook by Midori. It's a Japanese company, and it's a really, really beautiful journal. I love the color of it. It's like a very pretty cream color. I love the paper itself. It's like very silky, smooth. It is apparently good for fountain pens, which I don't use at the moment, but I am thinking of starting to dabble into the world of fountain pens. The other journals that I'm using are all just from Paper Republic. The first one is just the A5 dotted paper refill, and this one is like not quite as nice. Like, the paper's thick. I think it's also good for fountain pens, but there's something that feels like very luxurious about this Midori one, so highly recommend. I will say this kind of bores me. I saw at Top Drawer the other day, they had this like beautiful, it was almost like a linen paper, and the pattern was so beautiful, and they wrapped it around one of these plain journals, like exactly like this. And so that way you can have like a fun little splash of color and pattern when you open your journal, instead of just this like, I don't even know what color this is, like gray beige situation. And as for the pockets, I don't know what I'm gonna put in the pockets yet. I'm considering making this almost like my wallet, because I don't even currently have a wallet. I just carry my cards in a little pouch and move it from bag to bag. Obviously, the goal was to streamline my current journal process, but I also wanted to just be less reliant on my phone notes app and calendar. So far, it's really helped. There are obviously a few running notes that I'll just always keep on my phone because you can't put links in a notebook. I was getting really sick of having so many different notes on my phone. I just think in this digital world, it's nice to have something very tangible. Highly, highly recommend. I think that's everything. I just filmed for like 35 minutes straight, so hopefully this made sense. I truly just rambled and I didn't want to reiterate things that I've heard in other videos, or I just wanted to talk about my own perspective and process. I guess I'll end with, it's very easy to look at the way other people journal, the people who are very aesthetic with their journaling. I've always kind of wanted to be that journaler, and I think when I see people with those gorgeous journal spreads, it's easy to compare. That is the opposite of the point of journaling. And I also think in a lot of ways those journals are meant to be seen, whereas mine and probably most people's are not meant to be seen. Hope you enjoyed this video and let me know if there's anything else you want to see related to my journal. I truly just rambled in this video, so hopefully I covered all my bases. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.